Okay. So my name is Katie Gear, and I'll be hosting today along with Michael Bogdan. The session is being recorded, so if you're tweeting on social media, we welcome you to include at PSMLA1 and hashtag PSMLA21 so we can see and share all of your thoughts. Additionally, our presenters' Twitter handles are at PRHS Spanish and at WE Langley, if you'd like to tag them as well. So for attendance purposes, please be sure that your displayed name matches the name used to register for the conference. If you're unsure how to do so, just send me a message in the chat and I can send you some instructions. So please join me in welcoming Meredith White and Bill Langley to PSMLA.
Yay, we're here. Katie, it's also fun to meet your Twitter friends like in real life. You know, I think like when Bill and I met for the first time, I was like, oh my God, hey, like
real person.
Yeah, like you're real. It's a real boy. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, super exciting. Yeah. We'll go left to right, I suppose, right? My name is Meredith White. I teach in Gwinnett County. If you don't watch the news, we're on the news a lot. Gwinnett County is in Atlanta, so like Metro Atlanta, Georgia. And as Katie said, my Twitter handle is at PRHS Spanish, which means I can't get fired ever or quit because it's got my school in the handle. So that is me. Bill?
Yeah, I'm Bill Langley. I teach Spanish at Park Tudor School in Indianapolis. My Twitter handle is WE Langley for William Edward Langley. And I think you can find me basically with that, like anywhere. And yeah, I'm super excited to be here. Thank you for having us, Pennsylvania.
I know. I could check it off my state conferences, and I do absolutely note that is state conferences to go to, and now we can check off Pennsylvania. Awesome.
Wonderful.
Well, yay, we're going to take a look here. These are, so Langchat, the title, like we said, you know, Snapchat and Chit-Chat and Let's Just Chat. We use a lot of like chat-based things for a lot of things that we do in our daily lives or in social media or like regularly. It's like, oh, you know, let's get in the group chat. Like, oh, send me a direct message and we'll chat. Like there's a lot of chat. And one of professionally the most for me important and sort of, I guess, like profound in my like teaching career chats has been obviously like one-on-one chats at a conference. You know, it's nice to meet people in person and chat with them and just have like a real conversation. But a lot of those conversations happen on Twitter with the Langchat, what I would call, I guess, Bill, right? Like the Langchat community. If we're like that sure. Works, right? Yeah, like hashtag Langchat community. And it's really a cool place as world language educators in all different positions to share a lot of ideas, materials, resources, like aha moments, terrible days, like whatever the thing is, we're going to share it. So for better or for worse, a little bit like a marriage. What you see on the screen is the 5 moderators. So you see Bill and you see me. And my bio is very boring. I'm just like, yeah, I teach things sometimes. I think that's just I'm gonna change it to some students learn Spanish on occasion. Yeah, like that is all from time to time. Today, tricky. Tomorrow, we'll try again. But you can see, obviously, we have Nalan there at Lady Language 411. Bill, who's here, and he'll tell us more about himself. Lisa, who's incredible, and she's there at Madame Shep. And then Abelardo, who's amazing, and he is there as well. So we've got an array of teaching experiences, perspectives, languages also, so a couple different languages. And we are the current moderators of Langchat. So it isn't just necessarily a free-for-all, but it's also organized in a way.
Yeah, and of course, you got us 5 moderators who really, like, we just work together to create guiding questions for the live Thursday night chat. But like Meredith said, it really is a community and people are sharing things so much. And it's such a great place for support that it's not just the moderators that make Langchat. It is the moderators, it's teachers from all over, it's language supervisors, vendors, and education students, and of course, you. So you. Langchat is brought to you by viewers.
I was just gonna say, the more you know, like ting.
Yeah. And I don't know, do participants have access to the chat as well?
Oh yeah, Kate, I didn't think about that. Do they? They
Sure
should
do.
be able to. Yeah, Mike nods yes. Sweet, awesome.
Wonderful. So friends,
Boop. There. Yay, Laura says
if
sure do.
I would love it if you are already on Twitter,
Ooh,
that you put your handle in the chat so I can make sure that I follow you.
Same.
And also, could we get like a little bit of a taking the tempo of the room? Like, who has participated in Langchat
Absolutely. Or gotten on Twitter ever.
or gotten on Twitter ever?
Yay, Laura.
Laura, wonderful.
Whoop.
Thank you, Katie.
Mike, listen.
No, Twitter. Well, we might convert you.
Hold me back. I know. Mike, I know you. I know where to find you.
You can definitely stalk. There are plenty of people that just stalk.
Yeah,
Mike.
absolutely. Yeah, that's true. Lurk away. It's a free lurk zone. Oh, okay, Bonnie.
Cherry, great.
We're about to get you involved. Okay.
Yes.
And you can lurk.
Yes.
Lurking. I lurked for.
Lurking is perfectly fine. Like
perfectly fine.
You can get probably just as much from lurking as participating.
It's like the way you hear students talking about something super juicy and you're like, da, 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 like you don't, but you kind of like sashay on over and you're like, she did what?
Yeah.
Like she broke up with, it's the same thing. Just lurk. It's fine.
Yeah, of course.
Totally acceptable.
All right.
Absolutely.
Great.
Yeah, so we've got the 5 moderators, and like I said, you've got teachers, supervisors, we've got people from all different positions, which I think is really cool. And it's also fun to watch people, speaking of lurking, right? Watch people transition from job to job, like teachers who are now supervisors. I'm like, tell me everything. I'm like, or, state supervisors, like whatever. In Georgia, we're lucky to have a state supervisor and a lot of district supervisors. So I'm like, cool, share your perspective. So now that I can talk to admin, now I can speak from like X, Y, and Z, which I wouldn't have known as like a classroom teacher, which is, I'm not even like department chair. I do know things. So this is, what you see here is kind of how it works. I know we mentioned Twitter, but Bill, I don't know about you, but for Twitter, for me, it like before I got on Twitter for Langchat, which is why I got on Twitter, I just assumed Twitter was kind of like a dumpster fire, nothing like wasteland where like things I didn't need lived. Like, it was just like celebrities and whatever. And then teacher Twitter and Langchat totally changed that for me. And I had no idea. So if you've kind of written off like Twitter in your head, we're going to like beckon you to the dark side because it really can be pretty cool. There's still obviously some dumpster fire parts, but not really in like teacher Twitter. It's like, whatever, you can kind of move on. What you've got in front of you there are 2 parts. So on the left side, you have, Bill's got like, when he was moderating. So again, moderators, 2 of the 5, he was moderating and leading the chat on, I can't remember what this one was, but obviously you're asking about like different learning management.
This one was the like just beginning of the year, checking in. How's everyone doing? Kind of
is everyone still right? Don't quit your job yet. Yeah, like is everyone still there? Are we still, we're ready for the children? That's right. So yeah, looking at different things. He's got on the left there, like what a question looks like in Twitter. So he's got Q1 for question 1. So there are 5 questions across the course of the hour. And so this is an example of question 1, just like literally how Twitter works. When you're answering, I've got like my reply there to the right. So if I know he's saying, what LMS are you using? What tips do you have? Hashtag Langchat. I'm going to reply with the hashtag Langchat. And then for his Q1, question 1, I'm going to put A1, answer 1. So that we kind of know what's coordinating with what and what is, what's being said about what thing. So coordinating with what. And then the commentary is just like the literal tweet. So I would have said like A1, hashtag Langchat, because the order doesn't matter. And my tweet commentary would have been, we use, what is our LMS called? E-class, which is like a poor man's Blackboard. Yeah, like it's not great. It's called iCollege in some places and ELC in some places. Anyway, probably looks familiar to everyone here. You're like, oh yeah, that's the old blah, blah, blah. It was bought by somebody. We still have it. So I would say, oh, we have E-class and, don't love it. It's not great or whatever I can fit into 200 odd characters. And then I can click tweet and it's going to populate within the hashtag Langchat. So it's going to show up. And because I tagged it A1, it's going to resonate with Q1 from there.
And on this, sorry, and on that, there's definitely, in education, we know that there's an alphabet soup of abbreviations that we need to learn. There's even more so on Twitter. So if you're not used to them, don't be scared off by them. They all come together very quickly because you have to fit a lot of thoughts into 280 characters, is it now?
80, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, back in my day, it was 140.
140, right?
and your username counted in those 140.
Yes. Unbelievable.
It was. I remember tweeting from my phone, like texting in tweets, and you talked about thinking that Twitter is a dumpster fire sometimes. Before I got involved in Langchat and like teacher Twitter, I was definitely pouring gas on that dumpster fire. I've grown up.
I'm growing as a person.
I'm growing as a person. But yeah, so anyway, point being, don't be afraid of like the alphabet soup that comes with Twitter, because also I find that most people are nice enough to explain what they mean. So like we abbreviate students with just like a capital S, teachers with capital T. But I think most of them are intuitive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and I put in the chat
Authoress is a great one.
Yeah, I thought authoress. I just thought somebody misspelled authors, and I was like, "Oh, tiny." Like I was just like, "What a shame." Thank you, Katie agrees. Yeah. Like I was like, "Oh, that's a real shame for you." And like I felt like I was like, "I don't know what we're doing," and then I was like, "I'm an idiot." Like I realized what people are sharing, and I was like, "Oh, it's an infographic. It's like an authentic." Oh my god.
Oh.
Oopsie doodle. Yeah. So that happened. Katie, I'm glad it wasn't just me. Yeah, it took me like too long, like probably a couple of years. Yeah, it was like 2013. I was like, that's intentional. Yeah, oopsie. But anyway, yeah. So absolutely, yeah, I agree. But I think most of them are like SEL. That's tonight's is like social emotional learning, like all those or not tonight's, last week's, all those kind of things.
No, it's tonight's.
Is it tonight? What day are we on?
Yeah.
Okay, the 14th.
It's Thursday. Yeah.
Listen,
we're also trying something completely new tonight.
That's right. I'm super nervous.
I'm super nervous too. We're using Twitter Spaces tonight, which is a live audio chat, which you can only use on mobile devices. It's not on the desktop version of Twitter, but we are also doing the regular text chat as well.
Thank goodness, because if I can't figure out Spaces, if my millennial skills fail me, I'll be going to the text. I'm like, no, that's funny.
So
there you go.
Moving on, that was Meredith showed a little bit about like what is Langchat, how it works a little bit, but we also wanted to share with you like what else gets shared on Langchat. So you can see it's not just our conversations that we host. It's just a community, a wide community of people sharing, asking questions, starting conversations, sharing resources. You can see here, Prof. Nori Nelly, who's great, was asking a question to the community at large. So like, even if you're not doing the Langchat every single Thursday night, you can still be following the Langchat hashtag just so that you can see what other people are talking about throughout the week. It's not just on Thursday night. We always exist, and we're always, people are always willing to share and help. Recently, starting last year, we were trying this new topic of the week kind of thing, and we tried to do this like theme rotation. This year, it's not quite that, but we're still kind of keeping to topics. So as moderators, we're choosing different topics to talk about. So we always do a check-in once a month, because it's important to like actually see you as a person, not just what's going on in teacher land, but like we want to know, like, are you doing okay as well? And I think that's something that's like really nice about Langchat, and usually Twitter as a whole, is that people, like, if you say you're having a bad day, people will actually care. In my experience, and I hope that that is the experience for other people as well. But some other topics that we've talked about are assessment. And when we say assessment, we mean like all the different types of assessment, like assessing grammar, assessing comprehension, assessing the modes of communication, all kinds of things. People share authentic resources a lot with the hashtag authors, sorry.
Listen, we thought to think one thing for a couple of years, and now
it sticks with you. Second language acquisition. A lot of that's personally like my nerdy self. That's my favorite part about people talking on Langchat, is talking about second language acquisition, because that's just what I like to talk about. We're language teachers. We're not like any other teachers. We're just a different breed. So yeah, I like being able to talk about content specific, or pedagogy that is specific to us. We are word nerds. Yes. Social emotional learning, culture. Last week, we had this year, we're trying to do a lot of different guest moderators. So if you feel like you're getting the hang of Langchat and you just have a topic that you really want to talk about and you think you could really lead that conversation, we invite you to reach out and set up a guest moderator spot. Last week we had Haley Ziegler, talking about school climate. And we've had Florencia Henshaw, who is an up and coming huge name, and I love her. She is just wonderful. She has done a guest moderation spot last year. Who else has done? Have we done anyone else this year?
This year, no. The only ones I can think of
was Haley the first one.
Years, yeah. Haley was the first one for this year.
Haley was the first one this year. We've got a couple more lined up, but we're just 5 people, and we have a chat every single week. So we are more than happy to take on anyone else. If you've got a topic that you really want to talk about. Yes, please.
Please, it's a cry. Help us. Yeah, no, absolutely. For sure. We had, we did some in the past. We did more in the past as well. So Langchat's about, let me see, 2000. Yeah, so 10 years old.
10 years old. 10 years old.
Yeah, it's 10 year anniversary. We're in the 5th grade. So 10 years old now, and which is crazy. So there were guest spots like early on, but it's been a while. So it's really exciting to bring them back this year, which is really fun. As Bill mentioned, you can do, so kind of Langchat happens in like 3 parts. So if you've been on before, or you've lurked, or you've just like known it existed, but like kind of ignored it, whatever, been there, all of those. The far left one there is the live chat. So obviously you all are in Pennsylvania and beyond. So I am also on the East Coast, just down a little further. And so we are Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. every Thursday. We are like sort of meeting. It's a tweet up, tweet up at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And within that hour, shut up. I know. One time I went to a live like tweet up, and it was like Laura Sexton, who was like goddess. And I was like, oh God, there's people in the hotel lobby. It was like a tweet up at Actful. And I was like, like Laura Sexton's here. And then I turned and it was like Sarah Elizabeth Cottrell, like another goddess, like Langchat co-founder. And I was like, I can't handle myself. Like everywhere I turned, it was like people I'd met on the internet, and like, oh, amazing. So they called it a tweet up, and I was like, oh, I'm saving that. So it's just stuck with me. We tweet up every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then from there, so it's got all like this time zones there. I'm like, I don't know what this means in other ones because I'm just so used to Eastern. But anyway, so the questions go out. There are 5 questions in the hour, and they go out about every 10 minutes. So like, let's say Eastern Standard Time, Pennsylvania, Georgia, samesies. So at 8 p.m., it's like, hi, welcome, blah, blah, blah. Who are you? How are you? Introduce yourself. So Mike might say, oh, I'm, this position, da, 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 Pennsylvania. Glad to be here. Whatever you can fit in 280. And then at about 8:05, question 1 goes out. So as a team behind the scenes, we've decided on, like Bill said, like the rotating theme, we've decided on 5 questions within that. So let's say it's, like he said, beginning of the year, checking in. How you doing? Still at your job. Great. Stay there. The children are waiting for you. Like, please. All of the support that we can possibly provide. So we've decided 5 questions that make sense within that theme. So it might be like his was, what's your learning management system? Like, especially if you're doing like last year, roomies, zoomies, like, are we doing computer school? Are we doing in-person school? What are we doing? What's your LMS? Are you Canvas? Are you like, what's the deal? So little check-ins like that, just like logistics, like help. I need to organize my Canvas. Lisa McCarg, that's your gal, tweet at her or whatever. So sometimes they'll be, like he said, on a rotating schedule like that, or like tonight we kind of change up the forum, but you can still do it regularly. There's also the slow chat, which is anytime you can do that. And most people who do that do #slow-chat, #langchat, and then they can do like the A1 for answer 1, A2 for answer 2, and so on. Takes up more characters, but it allows you to kind of like catch up with it later.
Yeah, and if you are doing it later, at least on the desktop version, and I think on the mobile version, you can create a thread. So like I just did the slow chat last week because I didn't make it to the live chat. And so the next day I just started with question 1, and I retweeted the slow chat so that everyone knew what I was talking about.
Right.
So I hit retweet, typed my answer A1 in my answer, and then just added a new thread each time to make it like kind of cohesive. Just so that I was able to go at my own time, and I was still able to participate. People were still able to like give feedback or interact with me there. So, and if because I have heard from some people, the live chat moves very, very quickly. It moves very, very quickly. So it's easy to get lost in everything. So slow chat is a great solution to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I was gonna say, I think I kind of prefer, like I like the Langchat because I'm a fast typer and a fast talker and a fast mover, but I like the slow chat for really processing. Like I feel like when I'm in the live Langchat, I can't like share as many resources or share as many ideas or like things like that because I'm looking to respond quickly. And I also don't word stuff well. And then I feel like I'm like fixing the wording because you're trying to make it concise. And then you're like, that's not what I meant. I meant like whatever. And then it's just weird. Someone might be like, are you saying you give no quizzes? And you're like, I didn't say that. I just said only for, and then you're like, no, hold on. And then it's like, you're lost in the thread somewhere responding to yourself. And it's like on your phone, like with the thumbs, and it's like too much. So yeah, I like a good slow chat or catching the questions after the fact individually. Sometimes they just pop up in the feed. They're just like at the top of your algorithm, whatever. I'm like, oh, hey, yeah, I didn't predict. And they just pop in there and, it's like late to the party, but no big deal. So the slow chat can be anytime. Same questions. You can pop in 6 months later and be like, hey, and another thing, these rubrics, whatever, great. We'll be there. We don't care. Somebody will respond. But the other thing you can do at any time is just literally share anything. And I think that's, I love the live chat. I love them equally, but I definitely participate more often in the just share anytime, whatever. Because if something occurs to me, I'm like, while I'm here And I'm a Mac person, so it's just like very easy to like screenshot, blah, 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 pop it over into a tweet and just share. So for me, that's really, I get a lot of bang for my buck there when I like search Langchat for people, when I just like literally in Twitter, just like at the search bar, click #Langchat, enter, and then you can filter them by like latest or pictures or whatever. And it's really, really nice just to be able to look and search stuff and go, who's shared stuff recently? Oh, I love that. Maybe I'll try that next year. Or, oh, I'm already doing that. Cool. I feel pretty good about that. And go from there. So you've got options where we can meet up live. You can do like the slow chat, or you can do the anytime chat.
Yeah. So we kind of talked about this one a little bit already. So like Meredith said, it's
Oops, sorry. Click. Double click.
I was like, you can go on, I guess.
Oh, yeah, all right. Next.
So 8 p.m. Eastern every Thursday during the school year. And like Meredith said, we do introductions for about 5 minutes, and then about every 10 minutes, we have a new question to talk about. And then finally a takeaway, which is usually something that we do to like kind of reflect on the chat. What is something that you can take with you into your class next week? What is an idea that you want to think more about? Yeah, so, and then anytime, really, though.
Absolutely. So we've got two different forums here that we're going to show you. I'm going to show you TweetDeck. I'm going to pull over a little window here. If you haven't used TweetDeck, it's super fun. And then like regular Twitter, which whatever, is just Twitter. So give me a second here, because I'm going to, every time I populate TweetDeck, it like turns on all these columns. It's Actful from last November. And there we go. And like Langchat and notifications and everything else. So you've got a couple different ways you can do this. Either this to me, and I don't know, Bill, I think you'd say the same thing. TweetDeck is my favorite way to participate live. Would you say the same?
Yes.
Okay. Like, so in a browser, on a laptop or a desktop, whatever, on a computer, TweetDeck is my preferred way of, if it's Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to sit down with like an adult bevy and I'm going to open up TweetDeck. So when you open up TweetDeck, once you have a Twitter account, you have a TweetDeck account. They're the same thing. It's just like another forum of the same page. So it's literally tweetdeck.twitter.com. And when you open it up for the first time, it'll look like this. It'll have like 85% blank, and then what's happening, and like one tiny column to the far left. So here's where you could compose tweets. I'm just literally going to tweet something random right now. You'd be like, what's up, Langchat? The only reason I'm doing I totally will click tweet. Don't dare me. They'll be like, okay, it's not 8 o'clock yet, weirdo. The only reason I'm doing capital C too, and I don't know if we've mentioned this, but we got a message a while back that was saying somebody had said, or somebody had told them that their assistive technology will try to pronounce everything if it's the same case, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, if you do whatever, like let's say slow chat, all lowercase, it'll try to pronounce that as one word. And so it's a little bit tricky for those using assistive technology. So if you capitalize it, it will then recognize it as two different words. So it's like big L, big C, it'll say like hashtag, or maybe it'll pound sign, surely it says hashtag, Langchat, and it'll kind of separate them like that. So we thought that was pretty cool. And same thing with, you'll see oh, go ahead, Bill.
I think I was going to say the same thing. Same thing with the images. When we post the images with the questions, like, yes, we want the tweets to look pretty, but we also type out the entire question as well, just so that it is accessible to everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and allowing, we were told to, what was the other thing? It was the image, right? It was like the image size on a mobile device doesn't, so our images, as opposed to, I guess when we did it last year, maybe. So 2 years ago and before, the images like really widely vary. We've tried to norm some of the images to keep that like continuity. And then also we changed the dimensions so that they're more visible on like more types of mobile devices. And like Bill said, like also putting the question text into the tweet itself, so that like assistive technology can recognize like a rich text field and read the text. So if it looks like we're tweeting like redundantly, like why did they make an image and put it in the text? That's why, so that, to make sure it's hopefully as accessible as possible. So you can tweet here, but as Langchat's happening, what I do is I click on the plus sign here that says add column. And then I'm going to add a search here, and I'm going to, these are my recent searches. Hey, I'm going to search hashtag Langchat, but I'm just going to type it in actually, and I'll capitalize it just for funsies, even though it doesn't change, it keeps it the same search. So yay, there's Katie. Shut up, Katie, you're the top one. Yes, 7 minutes. So now she's my first column, and I don't have to do anything. Where's Mike? Mike, get off the, listen, you need to stop lurking on the Twitter. You need to get in there. No, I'm just kidding. We need Mike to be at the top there. My little colleague. So then I'm going to do this other plus sign. I can keep adding columns until I can't see like any others. So I can add another.
You can scroll to infinity if you want.
To infinity, like where and beyond,
Infinity.
like wherever you want.
I mean, I think, I don't know. I haven't.
Right. That's true. How many can we add? Now it's like an elevator in
Yeah.
college. How many people? No. I'm going to add notifications for funsies just because like that's also a nice one that I like to do. So I like, oh, there's Rich. Rich is tweeting at us, tweeting toward us, at us, with us.
At.
I think it's at, right?
With. I like with. Well, I like with.
He's tweeting, he's tweeting with us. Yeah, he's tweeting toward us. So I've got these two columns. These are my go-to. I literally just keep up hashtag Langchat and like the notifications. So once you've got those, what's really cool is the notifications will of course populate in real time. And then the Langchat will populate the Langchat column will populate in real time pretty much. So it'll be a little bit slow. All of a sudden you might have like an inch here, or you have to kind of like it'll be like this all of a sudden. You have to kind of slow scroll to catch everything. But with that Q1A1 format, it's really easy to follow what people are replying to. So it's great. Like Bill might ask like Q1, all right, what's your LMS? What are we looking at here? And as people respond, you can just kind of slow scroll up and go, oh, shut up. I use Canvas too. Hey, quick, how do you like, I suck at Canvas, help, and whatever. And you can see different things that way.
With TweetDeck on that, it's super easy to just quickly reply to someone.
Yep.
So if Meredith wanted to
respond
reply
to Katie?
Katie there.
I'm responding.
Yeah.
Click on, I'm gonna boop. Oh, hey.
And then it automatically quotes the tweet, so you know what you're tweeting at, and there you go. You're just replying, and it's going to send it to her.
Clickety clack.
There we go.
Done. Boop. And then
Done.
if Katie likes it, Katie like it. If Katie, I'm just kidding. Katie's like, crap. Let me get my. If Katie likes it, you'll see that the notification will pop up there in the notifications. Give it a second. Wait for it. Oh, Florencia liked it. Oh my God, we literally just said her name. Can she hear us?
We did.
Does she know? Okay, so give it
Is
a
she
second.
here?
Then can she hear us? God, Florencia. And Bill liked it too. So now they're at the top of my notification. So it takes a sec, but there it's like Katie liked it, and then Bill liked it. Heck, I'm gonna like your. No, I liked my own. Never mind. I was gonna like that you liked it. Jeez Louise. Ugh, hate. I want to like it. I'm gonna unlike it and re-like it. But anyway, so yeah, so TweetDeck is my preferred forum for the live chats. I'm gonna zoom this over here. Boopity boop and booty scoot. There we go. I put also the pros and cons here. So you don't have to refresh TweetDeck, which is really nice. And you can do those multiple synchronous columns. Like I said, cons, sometimes slow. Also don't hate that though, because Bill said like Langchat moves kind of fast. So it takes a second. And then you're like, I don't mind taking a second because I too need a second. So I don't mind that so much.
And then we also have just the regular Twitter web page and the app, which are pretty similar. I personally like the app when I don't want to go as fast. And like a little conceited, like when I just like want to reflect on my own and like put my thoughts out there. It's easy to go slower there.
Same.
And you can, of course, like you see here, I'm trying to point to it like I can point to it on the
you see here.
I was gonna say on the what is it on there? On the search, if you do a search on the web page. You can follow it like that as well. So you just search Langchat, and then you go to latest. You can just refresh the latest, so you can drag that down, scroll it down to refresh it, and that'll keep it up to date with you as well. It's just not as like conversational as TweetDeck is.
Yeah, and
But that's
something
definitely
about
like a valid option.
yeah, something about it gets out of order for me. Like I know it doesn't, but I feel like it does. You know, like it's not logical that I feel that way, but I'm like, wait a minute, where did everyone go? And then like the threads get lost, and it's like this is kind of confusing when it's live.
While you have that up, do you want to go ahead and show the list?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, let me remember how to get to it. Okay, I'm gonna switch accounts here. Boop. There we go.
And we'll tweet this out again, but we created a list for everyone that participates in Langchat. So we'll tweet it out so you can follow it if you want, but then you can see we have 151 members already. And then when you click on members, you'll see everyone that's there. So these are people that regularly share on Langchat, regularly participate. There it is in the
we're adding
chat
Katie
there for you.
Where's Katie?
Wonderful.
Katie, are you in there? Oh, how can
She
I?
might be in suggested now. She's
Oh yeah, now she might. Let's see. Katie.
not, but
Katie, why can't I? Am I missing a symbol? Son of a gun.
I think it was SRTA.
Oh,
there's an underscore in between.
oh, underscore. Oh, you fancy. You are fancy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, gosh darn it. There we go. Nailed it.
There you go. Added. Now she's in there. So now on the list, you can see everyone that actively participates in Langchat. So it gives you like a great starting place of people to follow.
Yeah, absolutely.
And interact with and learn from.
Some people keep their own list. So like you in your own account, let's say you're like, you know, a German teacher, like you're a singleton, you're the Latin teacher, the German teacher, the ASL teacher, the Cherokee teacher. You can make your own list so that some people might just be like general world language or like high school, like whatever the level is you teach, middle school. Then maybe you have like a language specific list that's, you know, just ASL, just Japanese. And then you might have another list that's like, you know, whatever, like people that just like tweet great resources or like that share a lot of stuff. Cause we love to think about stuff, but we also love to like get files. So you can make your own lists and you can also view other people's lists, which is really cool. I'm going to move that over here. I think you covered the pros and the cons too of like the app versus, hard to follow. Maybe that's my piece, like hard to follow a little bit. For me, like live. So I think we'll wrap up with our whys. And then if you guys have any questions, we can see the chat and we'll go from there. For me, my why was I joined Langchat almost 10 years ago and it was very intimidating just because I felt like everyone involved was like super famous. And so I was like, like kind of fangirling a little bit, but I wasn't getting a lot of it. But I wasn't getting.
I still do.
I was gonna say, and also present tense, still do. Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, look who's here. A culture of collaboration wasn't in my department at the time. I was in a really toxic situation. So I was getting great resources, great ideas, and honestly, just like a lot of validation from people I'd never met, which was weird and felt very like Yahoo chat room from the early 90s that my parents warned me about. But it was cool nonetheless. And I was able to, like, some of my favorite ideas and resources have come from that. And some of my favorite, like, high leverage practices have come from strangers who I've since met, and then strangers who have become, like, dear friends. Or, like, Bill, we were, like, in a conference session at IFLT, like, shut up, you're you. Oh, my God, hey. And it was, like, just stuff like that is really fun at conferences and kind of it just widens our collegial base, I think, like a big department. And it's really, I think
we're definitely doing everything that our parents told us not to do.
Yes.
Meeting people on the internet.
Uber. We're getting in cars with strangers. They literally told us not to. And we're paying them.
Yeah. For me, so I started doing Langchat probably, I think in 2014 or around then. and I wasn't super active with it for a while, but it was the same thing. It was just me in my department. I didn't have any other language teachers in my building, and I needed a place to like get ideas and think things through. And then after that, I was also in kind of a toxic area that like I didn't feel like my ideas were being valued. We weren't really collaborating and getting like real discussions about good pedagogy going on. So I wanted a place to have that. So, but also it's a place to share like the highest of highs, hashtag highlight reel. So it's like great to be able to share. It was great to be able to share what my students were able to do with people who actually understood what that actually meant. It was also a place to like show the lowest of lows, hashtag highlight reel, because you all know that like we've got some days that you just need a place to vent. And the Langchat community has just been a great place to be heard and feel seen. And really like just a group of people that get it with us. And then of course, bouncing ideas and back and forth, receiving feedback on like, hey, I'm trying this out. What do you think? Do you think I could tweak this in any way? And then of course, networking. You've met people all over the country because of Langchat, and it's just been wonderful.
Yeah, incredible. You've got some great examples here of like exactly what you just said, like why people Langchat. Yeah,
and even Rich is up there.
That's right. Rich is up there, and how dare he miss it? He said he was looking forward to the recording. He better be. Rich, we're looking at you, buddy. Darn it. No, yeah, absolutely. Well, and like you said, there's so many different reasons. Some people we get a lot of new teachers, which is fun. They're like, hey, just starting. And we're like, yes. And then we try not to like attack them.
I get so excited when like pre-service teachers come in and I'm just like, let us help you, let us guide you, share with us what you've learned.
Come to the dark side. Stay. Stay in the profession. Absolutely. Yeah, no, and I think you got such great reasons. Like you said, like Fabiola's tweet where you're like, people who get it, it's not like a monolingual, I mean, like not to be a hater, but like it's not a monolingual admin, you know, who's like, I don't really know what's going on. And you're like, okay, I love that for you. But like, I need a real evaluation and like an honest conversation. Or like something went really well and like I was really excited and I stayed in the target language. Who can appreciate that more than fellow language teachers? We're like, heck yeah, you did. Because listen, 90-10, some days it's 10-90. We're doing the best we can.
Anything else before we wrap up? Laura, thank you. Hope we have, like I said, we have a chat tonight. So please, I hope to see people there or recognize some names there. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, now you guys are stuck with us. So like, hi, we're friends now. You're welcome. You're not getting rid of us. So yeah, no, it's such a great space. And the hard thing, I will say,
I just really enjoyed, like, I've had some like real sentimental moments because I'm like, this is such a great community. Like every single time that we come back, like after the summer break or whatever, and I see people starting to share again and whatever, I'm just always reminded of what a great supportive community we have with us.
Absolutely. Well, and like, again, just people who get it, where you're like, you know, sorry, but can I just ask blah, 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 hashtag Langchat. And people are like, of course, like not weird. Here's a link or whatever. And then you get a million links. I did, what did I inquire about last week? Oh, IPAs. Cause I was doing a session on IPAs, not IPAs, but like kind of how you can plan with like an IPA in mind. So like planning for all the modes each day. And suddenly I realized the person asking me to do the session, like, I think misunderstood. And I was like, dear Langchat, help. Like that scene in Bridesmaids where she's like, help me, I'm poor. I was like, help me, I don't know anything. Like, this person's asking for this other thing. I had like 27 responses and like, they were all a gold mine of like a link to examples. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Thank you. Like
this morning I tweeted out asking about brain breaks that people liked. Like this morning at 10:19 a.m. and now I've got 26 like head replies.
Pull it out. Right. And you're like,
And
oh, okay.
yeah. And like people are just so willing to share, so willing to like start the conversation.
Where did you go? Yeah, there it is. Look
It
at that.
should
You
be-
literally have 26 responses. Incredible. And people are great with like screenshots, like just the actual Google Drive link. Are you kidding me? Thank you. I'll copy. When it's an editable Word doc, I'm like, bless you. Like, I don't want a PDF with your name on it. Okay, no offense. I'm like, goodbye. Delete. You know, I'm
And
like,
also,
oh, I love that.
skip teachers pay teachers. Just look on Langchat. There, people are giving stuff away for free all the time.
Thank you for freebies, like the whole curriculum. I'm like, skip that. Or you can catch a preview on Langchat and you're like, I can make that. That's on terrible.
Yeah.
Like, might not be as cute, but like I can compilate it. So it's fun, like just a random. She doesn't work anymore, but like Genevieve used to work for Actful. Like that's what I mean. We're talking about like the different.
Genevieve.
Yes, I know it. The artist formerly known as Genevieve, because she's not at Actful and now she's not at the mothership, so we don't care. No, she's delightful. But like you've got like Cassie freaking Glynn. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like Actful author Genevieve, who used to be at the mothership, like. Lance, are you kidding? Like just amazing teachers that are like just like casual, like, oh hey, we do this.
Yeah, like take this. Yeah, it's just great.
Take this, it's mine. You can have it. Thank you. Absolutely. So yay. Thank you so much for having us, Katie. Rich.
Thank you guys
Yes, thank
so
you
much
so
for
much.
being
This was
here.
a great time.
Hey, so yeah, on behalf of PSMLA, we want to thank everybody for attending this session with Meredith White and Bill Langley, and thank you guys so much for being here. We welcome and encourage your feedback on our sessions. Please use the link in the PDF program or the one in the chat if you'd like to give the session some feedback. So the recording of this session will be available for conference registrants after the event and all the way, I think, through February. So as a reminder for the teachers in Pennsylvania, in order to qualify for this session for the Act 48 credit, you have to complete the Act 48 reflection form. You can find that linked in the PDF program or in the chat. And these programs or the forms should be completed within 72 hours. Well, I'm really struggling here. 72 hours of submission. So thank you guys so much and enjoy the rest of your virtual conference.